Hi, I am Solitaire. Thank you for joining me in this time and space. If you're new here, I hope you like it here. Get cozy, get comfy. And don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see, if these messages are accurate for you. If you're not new here, welcome back. I missed you. I am already tapping into some energy here. I was just shuffling some cards, playing around, and we've got a few different cards coming up here. Bottom of the deck energy, King of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Wands. And we also have the Five of Swords in reverse. And this is the Gregory Scott Tarot deck. Now, I was picking this up in a previous reading, you may remember, but basically, what I'm really getting here again, I think this is like a continuation of that energy here, is that you are highly favored, okay? Highly spiritually protected. And the reason being you have a mission on this life, okay? You've got a soul purpose. I feel like growing up and even now, you have been put into situations where you have had to take on a lot of responsibility, like you've been put under pressure. And I feel like this has honestly trained you in life to be always on your A game. Okay. You're highly functional. Okay. You might have developed some bad habits, some vices on the way because it's been a lot of pressure on you. But even still, you're highly functioning. Okay. That's what I'm getting. With the Five of Swords in reverse as well, you've had to learn how to bite your tongue, how to play the game, like play the long game. Okay. Because I feel like growing up, you haven't had as much power as you have now. You weren't in the same position, obviously. And this is going back to when you were a kid. So, when you're a kid, you don't really have much power, much authority, because you're kind of under the control and the guardianship of other people. But I feel like you really, all your life, have been put in situations where you've had to carry the responsibility. And I'm hearing a lot of the responsibility, but like none of the credit, pretty much. Like no one, growing up, people did not want to give you your flowers. This could even be coming from your own parents or your own whoever was trusted to take care of you. Could be older siblings, older cousins, family, your guardians, whatever that means, or just even teachers. I'm seeing people who were in a higher position on the hierarchy than you. Being a kid, like you're pretty low, generally speaking. And so you've really had to bite your tongue because I feel like you are very, what's the word specifically for like being ahead of your time? Precocious or precocious? Is that the word? You're very like ahead of your time, wise beyond your years, even when you were younger, a lot younger. And I think that this rubs people the wrong way. Like, obviously, people who were supposed to be looking after you felt a little bit, maybe even not particularly like intimidated by you or like they felt undermined by you, but they definitely felt a little bit awkward when you knew more than them or you had better judgment than them or you just had a better instinct than them. I feel like there's some sort of innate instinct in you that you've always had, and there's like this fire in your soul that I'm seeing that people have noticed from when you were younger. And people have tried to put this light out. People have tried to suppress it or made you feel smaller and tried to shrink you. But I think right now is the time because I almost feel like this has been training, okay? Like you've been put under like a different type of upbringing for the purpose of training. Like you're highly disciplined now, you're highly functioning, okay? Let's get off this energy. Let's keep going. What's going on here? I just keep getting that you're highly favored. You have a lot of responsibility, a lot of people relying on you, counting on you. And I feel like you're used to that kind of pressure. You're not going to fold under this pressure. I feel like you're on a mission. Like you're here to take care of people, to inspire people, and to protect people. I'm getting a protective energy as well, where you could very well be a protector. So you could really look after like the underdog, look after people who are disempowered or are feeling down, or people who have lost connection with themselves. I feel like you come into people's lives and you really transform them. Okay, I'm getting an image here of like part of your high favoritism, okay, is that you are very attractive. Because I'm going to try to explain this. What I was seeing is that you give people butterflies, okay, because you are very magnetic, very attractive physically, but also you give people butterflies in a sense that you give them the tools and the inspiration to transform their life. Like butterflies are all about transformation. And for you, you give people that opportunity and that inspiration to transform their life. Like I feel like when people meet you, their life is never the same again. Okay? You are spiritually protected, and we have wisdom coming out here. You've got a lot of wisdom to offer. Okay? I feel like even it's almost like you were born with this wisdom, okay? But I'm seeing at a very young age, like even infant, okay? You were very perceptive. That's what I'm seeing. Since you were very, very, very small, you've been perceptive. It's just like there's this, it's like you've been anointed, you've been touched by the hand of God or the creator, whatever you want. There's just a lot of power and gifts that you've been blessed with, okay? Maybe I'm seeing that you've been in hands that have fumbled you. You've been in hands that have not known what to do with your light. Again, they wanted to shrink it. They wanted to turn you down. But you're in a place now, and you have been since very young actually, but even more so now, where you don't need anyone else to give you permission anymore. You're not looking at them for guidance, because that's kind of how it is when you're younger. You know, you're a kid, you look to other people for guidance because that's kind of what's expected. But I feel like you really already broke the mold when you were younger, and you decided when you were younger that you know what's best for you. You know, like very precocious. Is that the word? Oh my God, it's gonna kill me. Very ahead of your time, very wise beyond your years. And I think that part of this wisdom that you gain is from nature. Okay, you could have a very strong connection with not only the divine and the universe and God or whatever you want to say, but you have this connection with nature, which could pretty much be one and the same thing, right? But I feel like when you were younger, you spent either a lot of time in nature or you were fascinated by nature, something like that. You could have spent time like in the countryside or in the woods, or maybe just surrounded by a lot of plants, like maybe someone you knew, or you spent a lot of time like in a garden or surrounded by like wildlife or animals, even something to do with nature, where you intuitively picked up on the laws of nature, the laws of the universe, by being around nature. It's almost like you were raised by wolves, but like not really. But you know what I mean? It's like you were raised by nature. You guys are highly connected to a lot of things that people have completely lost touch with in this day and age. And that's why you carry so much wisdom. That's why you are highly favored, and your life has been kind of leading you up to this point now. You might feel like you go through periods where you feel useless, you feel like you've gone through hardships for no reason, or that you're not as talented and as special as you are. But Spirit is saying that you are highly favored. I'm hearing you are the chosen one. Like you have been chosen to show up in this world as you and to inspire people. You are, with all that pressure that I was talking about, you've been going through a lot of pressure. You are that diamond in the rough. Okay? It's like you I don't know why I'm hearing that song by Rihanna. I think she sang it. We found love in a hopeless place. It's almost like that, where it's like you bring joy, love, and light into places there have only where there has only been darkness. Like you come into people's lives when they are going through potentially like a dark night of the soul, and you bring light to them. You give them that sense of hope again, that breath of fresh air. Now we have perfection coming out, and underneath it we have isolation. Okay, so some of you could also deal with perfectionism. Okay, I feel like again, you've been like disciplined, like training all your life, and you could really strive for perfection. You could strive for doing things just right, because I feel like you have a lot of integrity, you have high standards for yourself. And so you could definitely put a lot of pressure on yourself as well, because that's what you're used to. Life has been putting you through so much pressure, and you could even isolate as well because you want to stay disciplined. You want to perfect yourself. And also because you are different from your peers, you're different from the rest of the people around you, you're different from your family as well, I'm hearing. And you could have had to isolate yourself because you felt like you weren't understood. You were the black sheep. It's I love my contrast. If you're new here, I love my contrast. If you're, not new here, then you know that I love my contrast. Okay, I'm gonna stop saying that. But it's like you're the black sheep, but you're also like the wolf. I don't think you're a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think you've given up that disguise a long time ago. But I will say that you give off like this leader of the pack, heart of the pack energy, like you were raised by wolves. Not literally, I don't think, but you're also the black sheep. Okay, so again, you've had to learn how to bite your tongue. You know how to play your role. You know how to kind of camouflage, how to shapeshift, because you are a survivor. You've gone through a lot of things. I'm not going to get into that because it's wild, and there's a lot of things, a lot of different energy that I'm picking up on here. But if you're watching this, you have probably gone through a lot of crazy shit in the past. A lot of things that like people wouldn't even believe. A lot of crazy stories that kind of just are with you because you don't like to show off. You don't like to brag about things. A lot of things you kind of keep to yourself, but it has really shaped who you are. Can we clarify this perfection? Let's get something from the Dreaming Way Tarot deck. Why is this perfection card coming up here? I know people who are very conscientious are also perfectionists to a point where you can obsess about the little details. You can obsess about getting things just right. We have the Two of Swords coming out. Can we get some more information? Perfection. You see a lot of different truths at once. You see different perspectives. And there's that wisdom card again coming out. It's like you know that there are many different, like there's many sides to the story. There's a lot of truths that can coexist at once. Okay, but the perfection, we have the Six of Swords. That's what I'm going to take. I did see the Fool coming out. We have the Eight of Wands as well. You are just so connected with the divine. Like this is like divine intervention, divine inspiration, and divine support. Okay, this is like reinforcements always showing up when you need them to, because you are highly favored. Okay, you are on a mission, and so you've got a spirit team, you've got angels, or just you have connections in the spiritual world, basically, who are here to support you and to guide you. Perfection. We have the Two of Swords and Six of Swords. I don't want to get too deep, but we're going deep, okay? So it's like, I feel like you've never really felt completely safe since you were a kid, since you were a newborn even, okay? Maybe even since you were in the womb. You've never really felt completely safe. You have kind of had to turn a blind eye. Okay, there's that having to bite your tongue, having to hold in your words. You always, and there's that training again. It's like you've been trained because you had to pick up on the environment, on everyone else's emotions. You've had to kind of regulate other people's emotions since you were little. Because you're very perceptive. You pick up on these things, and it's like you've had to turn a blind eye in order to survive, in order to also harmonize with your environment. And because I feel like you've come from a lot of conflict in the past, a lot of anger and disharmony, you strive for this perfection, because you're really averse to that conflict. You're really averse to people, or just like lack of effort and lack of understanding. Because I feel like you've realized that a lot of where conflicts and disharmony arise is when someone is slacking, when someone isn't putting in all their, like, 100%, when someone isn't putting in their effort. And there's this like feeling of escapism as well, where maybe in those periods, yeah, I'm seeing when you were a kid and there was conflict around you, you've had to kind of turn a blind eye. You had to escape, because Six of Swords is all about escaping. And I feel like you escaped a lot in your mind, and you could have fantasized about ideal situations where there was no conflict, where there was no fighting, where there was no disharmony, and you developed this sense of perfectionism because in your mind that was your happy place, that was your escape, where things were perfect, where there was no argument, where there was no lack of effort, where there was no neglect. That's where that perfection is coming in. You really want to make your environment as stress free, as conflict free, as harmonious as possible. It's a lonely road where you are right now, because I feel like not a lot of people in your life can relate to what you're going through, because you are on a spiritual mission. Like, you have been chosen to be a spiritual soldier. You've been training for this your whole life. I don't think that it was like predetermined, but I think that based on your upbringing and your circumstances, it just makes sense. Like, people like you have bigger things, a higher purpose to do with your life. And so maybe you've never felt like satisfied in life or with the connections that you have, because it's just been so shallow. Like, you desire something deeper. But the message here is that you are wise. It's not in your head. Like, you do have a higher purpose here. You are highly favored and highly protected. Let me clarify this isolation, because I feel like this period of isolation is coming to an end. I feel like you are going to meet, or at least be supported by, like-minded people. If you've already kind of met these people already, like, you're not meeting them, but you are going to be supported by them. And there has been a lot of childhood wounds that you're healing. Definitely a lot of healing going on, which is really important, because you are a protector. Okay, I'm seeing that very clearly. You're here to protect the less fortunate, or the disempowered. You're here to protect the vulnerable. And it's up to you to protect your energy and to heal those wounds, so that you are available, you're present, and that you're not clouded by your hurt. I'm going to get one card here from the Heal Yourself Oracle deck. I think that's appropriate. We'll see what it is at this moment in time that we need to focus on. So let's see. For my amazing, highly favored, beautiful, divinely protected people watching this, this is like my spiritual soldier collective watching this. It's a lot. And I know that you've been healing, you've been trying to move on, but it's like these things you'll this these things go deep where it's like I don't even think time can fix this, you know? This is something that you're going to be dealing with for the rest of your life. I just heard like if you've been on the run from this, like you can't run away from this. You have to accept it and you have to deal with it every single time that it comes up. Maybe not every single day if you're putting in the work to address these wounds that come up, but it will always come back. It's a wound that time can't even fix. Okay, so what's the main energy right now that we need to focus on? Spirit for my collective, my beautiful collective here, who's putting in the work, who's actually holding it down, keeping us protected, keeping us safe. Let's get one message for them. What do they need to look at right now? What do they need to focus on? What's the main energy here? What's the point of this message? Oh, selling out came out. Guys, keep your integrity. Some of you might be like so tired of doing things the right way. Okay. You've been a perfectionist and you've been isolating yourself. Some of you could really be reaching that breaking point. Let's get one more card, but this could also be a new perspective shift as well, where it's like, hey, there's like this very biblical reference. It's like like from the Old Testament, like Moses. Okay, what is that? Exodus, not Genesis. Exodus. I went to a Catholic school for like majority of my school, pretty much, yeah, except for university and stuff. Like I went to a Catholic school. I'm not personally Catholic right now. I'm like, I don't know what I am. You know what I mean? But I was baptized and had my first reconciliation and confirmation. And anyways, it was a biblical reference, and you don't even have to be Catholic for this, because I swear the First Testament, like the Old Testament, it's common to all three Abrahamic religions, right? Judaism and Islam. It is, and Christianity. They all share that First Testament, the Old Testament. Why do I keep saying the New Testament? But anyways, I'm going to stop shuffling. There's so much energy here. We have inner child also. Definitely inner child wounds that need to be healed. Okay. But back to what I was saying, there's this, it could be a perspective shift. Okay. It's like the obvious interpretation of this is, don't sell out, like stay strong, keep your integrity. But I'm also seeing, the opposite of that. Okay. The Bible verse, or no, it's not a verse. I don't know any verses. Okay. But, I'm not that skilled, but, there's this biblical reference and it's about Moses, and it says, what gets you out of Egypt isn't always what gets you to paradise. That's what it is. And so if you're not familiar, here's a little lesson. No, don't take lessons from me about this. But Moses, well, there's a whole backstory to Moses I'm not going to get into, but basically his whole thing was that he led the people, the slaves in Egypt, he led them out of Egypt because they were being mistreated there, and it's the big exodus, right? It's a big exit out of Egypt and out of that period of, and that place of oppression. Anyways, what gets you out of Egypt isn't necessarily what gets you to paradise, is what I'm picking up on here. So it's like sometimes what gets you out of a bad situation isn't what you want necessarily, and isn't what your ideal is. Okay, with this perfection card, it might not be what you imagined, what you pictured, what you planned for, but if it gets you out of where you are, a dangerous situation or an unhappy situation, if it gets you from point A to point B. Sometimes you do what you gotta do. And once you're out, then you can think about being picky about, okay, what do I want? What's my plan? What's my ideal? So I'm seeing here with selling out, especially also with this inner child coming out here, it's like a lot of things that people told you, don't do this, don't do that, like really tried to like put this message, like drill a message into you. A lot of those things that have stuck with you that make you feel guilty about doing certain things, it needs to be cleared away. It needs to be healed, because sometimes you do what you got to do to get yourself out of a situation or to even just survive. And then once you're out of that place and you're not in survivor mode anymore, then you can be picky. Then you can figure out how to do things the right way. I'm not advocating for anything sketchy or illegal, okay? I'm just saying that sometimes you do what you got to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? An inner child. Look at this inner child. See? Definitely something with nature, being in the woods or by the water, something like that, where you're highly connected to the divine, to nature. That is what also heals you. That is where you draw your power from and where you draw your wisdom from. Don't worry about what other people are thinking about, them telling you you're selling out, you're not being true to yourself, because you know yourself more than anything, more than anyone. And you know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do to reach your goals or to live the life that you want to live. You've had to endure so much growing up. You've had to grow beyond your years way quicker. I'm hearing that some of you were in some ways deprived of your childhood because you had to be the parent, or because you had to always be on alert and look out for danger, look out for things. You couldn't really relax. And it's getting to the beginning of the message where you never really felt 100% safe. So if you got to do what you got to do so that you can come to a place where you are stable and you are safe, then you need to do that for yourself. You owe it to your younger self and to your inner child to heal those wounds and to just live the life that you deserve. You may have never imagined that you would be living a good life, whatever that means for you, but it is 100% within your reach. You have been training for this your whole life. And I was getting this thing as well. Like, there's this guilt sometimes about maybe doing better than your family or doing better than the people around you, like breaking the cycle, breaking free from the chains. But I do see that it's almost like living your best life, like attracting wealth into your life and doing better than other people. It is not only an act of rebellion, but it's also like activism, if that makes sense. Like, it's revolutionary. Obviously, you're like breaking cycles, you're breaking generational curses and cycles, but it's like you're in a better position to help people and to lift people up when you're on top. If you're going to keep yourself down, you're in no position to help people, because what are you doing? It's just like the blind leading the blind. It's like you can't pull anyone up. It's just basic physics. Like, if you're on the same level, you can only pull them and push them laterally. But if you want to lift someone up, you either got to get under them and give them a boost, but in this case, you got to reach, you got to be on top and you got to pull them up. That's the easiest way, and that's the way that preserves your self-respect. Like, you're not going to literally get on all fours and let them crawl on top of you, right? Like, you have to get up, do it for yourself, and then lift them up. Yeah, so that's the message here. Don't worry about selling out. No. Take that as it resonates. You know your limits, okay? But looking after you and getting the life that you deserve not even that it has to be for other people, because I was like framing it in a way that it's like it's an act of generosity to be a bit selfish to get what you want, because then you can help other people. But it's not even about that. Like, do it for your inner child, do it for yourself, and do it because you deserve it. You've been through a lot of stuff. You are in a position where you've been training for this your whole life. You have been through obstacles. You've been, jumping through hoops, and now it's your time to actually just relax, to put your feet up, take a break, because you deserve this. And then when you're ready, when you pour into yourself a little bit more, you can I was gonna say it can trickle down. It's a little bit controversial in terms of trickle down economics and whatnot. I don't know, but all I'm saying is that you guys have been through a lot, and it's made you stronger. Like, you are highly favored, highly protected because of what you've been through. It's made you such an open, understanding, just such a real person. You genuinely want the best for people, and that's why you are favored. That's why things will always work out for you, because you have such a good heart because of what you've been through. And you're honestly in such a unique position. Every single thing that you've been through has given you a unique perspective, a unique point of view, and this needs to be shared with the world. And this needs to be like, you need to give yourself your flowers if no one else is going to do it for you. You are so special. I'm not just saying that. I'm not trying to hype you up. Like, Eight of Wands coming out in this reading. You are highly favored. You have spiritual reinforcements. You have backup. All you need to do is ask for help. Ask and you shall receive. You have a direct communication with the divine, and it will come in handy. Okay. A lot of inner child healing, also hearing. You need to listen to what your inner child was telling you, or was telling the people around you. It's time for you to listen. You deserve all of this, because I feel like when you were a kid, you had no choice but to put yourself last. But now it's time to put yourself first. So I hope that message helped and it resonated. I'm feeling really connected to you guys right now. I don't want to let go, but I feel like this energy will be back around, and hopefully you stick around. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you don't miss a video and you see more videos like this. And if this is accurate, if you like this, if you enjoyed this at all, then hit the like button and leave a comment. Let me know how it resonated. I do love to hear from you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, night, evening, afternoon, whatever it is. I love you. Bye.